This is a 1/10 scale nitro truck. This is REM CON Raiders. This is coming your way soon. At nearly 60 miles an hour, just over 1 foot long, these nitro burning radio control cars going through fire and water, highly sophisticated 2-stroke motors. They are dangerous. This is round 1 of the REM CON Raiders Nitro Truck Knockout Championship. Down by the track, meeting the teams, is Sophie.
I'm standing here on the dusty dirt that is the track, getting the reactions from the drivers as the drama unfolds. And as you can see from the last 2 shows, anything can happen.
Now in this show, there are 3 heats and a final. It's a knockout competition, and sometimes these cars do get bent, they do get knocked out, and when they have to get fixed, it's Michelle that finds out what's going wrong.
Thank you, Russ. I'm down here in the paddocks, which is actually a great place to be because it's where all the action happens in between the races, when the drivers and the mechanics are working furiously on their cars, repairing any damage for the next race. And at the end of the 5 minutes, the gate at the top of the paddocks will come down, and the drivers go up the steps, the mechanics and the cars go through the gates. If they don't get through the gates when they come down, they're not in the next race. So we look forward to plenty of action there.
Well, you're in for some blinding action. Remember, there are 6 teams in this show. Only 3 go through to the quarterfinals, so 3 teams are going to go home very, very sad. Let's meet the teams.
My name's Steve. Stuart. I've done the Winter Series, won the championship 3 times now.
Well, look out for Team CML in the orange and purple, number 1.
Nitronauts. Now, is it true that you're sponsored by your parents?
Yep.
Isn't that nice?
It's the only way I can get sponsored.
Sponsored by your parents, car number 2. Look out for that through the firewall, blue and green.
I'm Anthony Roebuck.
I'm Keith Bellamy.
A lot of practicing for today? Yep. Great. Good luck.
Okay then, thank you.
Well, look out for the young man in the blue and white, and hopefully not in the water.
Team Red Mist, Ian McKenzie.
Paul Bullen, mechanic.
And how are you feeling for today's race?
Very confident. No problems, no problems. Once the red mist comes, they all rush out the way.
Fighting talk here. Right, I'm looking at you guys.
Red mist, but a car of orange, yellow and green on the left of your screen.
Alex Black from Stockwell Monkeys.
Chris Raby, Stockwell Monkeys.
And where do you actually come from then?
Stockwell.
Surprise!
Imagine that.
Good luck to you.
Cheers.
Check out the monkey business in this press car, the red car, all out of shape.
I'm Richard Kimber.
I'm his dad, Carl Kimberley.
Ah, another nice family team. Got a lot of family teams here today.
It's a family affair. Look at that orange, red and blue. Right, check out this bubblegum factory. Look on the left-hand side. This is round 1. 48 teams start the competition. In this show, there are 6 teams competing, but only 3 will go through to the quarterfinals. For Heat 1, let's take a look at the track. Focus your minds. This is a lap of REM CON Raiders. Turn 1 leads on to Death Valley, where you can expect some T-bone action. Over the tabletop, some big jumps there. Through the infamous firewall, round through the chicane, and through the water jump to complete 1 lap. This is what they're all racing for, a CML gas truck for the winner of the championship. There are 3 heats and a final. The aggregate score of the heats goes towards your grid positions in the final. Each heat is 12 laps long. The mechanic from each team holds the car on the grid to stop it rolling forward. We have a green light. It is Steve Haynes away first, and right behind him, Andrew Nicholas over the top of the table jumps. It is Steve Haynes makes a mistake on the first lap, and it is Andrew Nicholas now through the firewall. He's almost out of shape. Through the S's and over the water jump, it is Andrew Nicholas opening up a commanding lead at the end of this first lap. Andrew Nicholas from Ian McKenzie from Steve Haynes. Now I'm joined by our nitro truck expert, Chris Kennedy, as we have more drama through the firewall. Chris, tell us about these cars.
Well, Russ, they're 2-wheel-drive 1/10 American stadium trucks as raced in the US of A. They're powered by 2.1cc 2-stroke fuel-powered engine, and they're very fast and very dodgy if you don't have the setup right.
Well, now it looks like Steve Haynes has taken the lead. Yep, the British champion Steve Haynes guns it down the start and finish straight. A copybook drive over Death Valley. Look at him going straight over the tabletops. perfectly set up. You can see how this car flies over the top of the jumps through that firewall, just hanging on, superb grip round the bend there. Again, not getting T-boned, and I spoke too soon. There's Steve Haynes there colliding with Red Mist, driven by Ian McKenzie through the fire again. Is this a problem, Chris?
Only if they were to land in it and stop there for a considerable time. I think the term burnout would come to mind.
I think it certainly would there, Chris. Now Steve Haynes gunning it down very comfortably in the lead. Steve Haynes from Andrew Nicholas from Ian McKenzie. Now we've got Roebuck there through the water jump. Remember, that water would not do those electrics any good. That's the race leader, Steve Haynes, unhooked by Marshall. There's Red Mist trying to unlap himself behind Steve. The Marshalls are around the outside of the track, there to put these trucks on when they crash or invert themselves. He guns it down over the line to take the race win. Heat number one, won by Steve Haynes. There we go, checker flag being waved by Olivia. Shot of the race there. Red Mist taking out, or nearly taking out, Steve Haynes. Second, Andrew Nicholas, and third, Ian McKenzie.
Steve, you won, but you are a bit of a pro at this. How difficult did you find the conditions?
It's very difficult. It's so hard to figure out how much grip's in each corner.
Hello guys, how's it all going here?
Not good.
Not good. Oh, it looked. Why? What's going on?
We can't get any radio. Radio's gone on it.
The radio control's gone, so that's it then. Can you mend that in 5 minutes?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see, eh? We'll have to see.
What about the fire? Is it anything to do with anything on the actual? Oh, it's to do with the driver, says the rivals.
It's probably all the water actually on the track.
So you think it is the water?
A lot of aggressive driving out there, and they're asking for trouble now, so we're going to get out there now and we're going to get them sorted.
So beware of red mist, I think, is what you're trying to say.
We've been taking it steady, but some people drove straight over the top.
Now, hang on a minute, you're not writing checks here that you're driving can't cash, are you now?
No, I don't think so.
So you are the dogs, you are going to get up there.
We were third.
Oh, that's not bad, that's consistent.
Second, but we are the underdogs. We're definitely the underdogs.
We've still got 3 people in the pits. And I get really scared that they're not going to make it, and I feel sorry. Quickly, guys, we've got 10 seconds. I am going to... Oh, no, can you make it? Oh, can you believe it? They all made it again. I'm waiting for somebody to get stuck in that pit. But I'm too nice. I think I let them all through.
Well, all the teams have made it to the grid. Remember, during the heats, you can start at the front, the middle, and the back of the grid. We have Amber. We are waiting for the green light, and we are underway. It looks to me like we have an early lead taken by Anthony Roebuck, but Anthony Roebuck is straight inside into the Armco. It is Red Mist leaping over that firewall, but up the inside, it looks like car number 2. That is Andrew Nicholas, is fighting with Red Mist. Andrew Nicholas pushes Red Mist out the way, and they come over the start and finish line. It is Andrew Nicholas from Ian McKenzie, but Ian McKenzie drives over the top of Andrew Nicholas. That is outrageous. Through the firewall comes Ian McKenzie, followed by Andrew Nicholas, but a mistake by Red Mist. Oh, and it's a battle between car number 2 and 4. They're bashing into each other over the water jump. It is McKenzie in second, and right behind them is Steve Haynes as they come over the start and finish line. This is a battle for first and second. Steve Haynes crashes out, so does McKenzie, and Andrew Nicholas now guns it over the fire. A mistake by Andrew, but does he hang on to his lead? Red Mist coming up round the outside. That's McKenzie in the lead, followed by Nicholas, followed by Steve Haynes. This is tremendously exciting racing. First, second and third coming over the finish line, not over the finish line, the start and finish. It's Haynes now in second position in hot pursuit of Andrew Nicholas. Can Andrew hold off the might of Steve Haynes? No, he can't. Steve comes through to take first position, and it looks like Andrew's race is run. And a major shunt behind there, the blue car of Anthony Roebuck. Their total, but let's take another look in slow motion of Andrew nosediving, crunching into that hard clay surface, allowing Steve Haynes to come through into first position. And I think it's all down to grip with these cars, isn't it, Chris?
Well, Russ, these are race-developed real rubber tyres with special treads and spikes for a variety of surfaces with special foam inner inserts for tyre support.
Well, I don't think Steve Haynes needs any foam supports at the moment because he's gunning it, laying the hammer down. He's certainly got this race underfoot, and over the top of him comes, I think that was Andrew Nicholas back in the race again. But anyway, it's Steve Haynes coming round turn 4, and the question is, this race is very much in his grasp now. All he's got to do is, another mistake. This race is going to, and right behind him now is the blue and white car of Anthony Roebuck. But it's Steve Haynes from Ian McKenzie from Anthony Roebuck in 3rd as we come into the closing stages of the race. And there is a battle right at the back here. It's a question, you can see the checkered flag out, ready to receive this man, Steve Haynes. Steve Haynes now coming over the water jump for the last time, round turn 4 for the last time, keeping it cool, right down the middle, takes the checkered flag. An excellent race win for Steve Haynes. And as the rest of the trucks come in after a blinding race, let's take another look at that slow motion of Andrew Nicholas totaling his car. But this is the way the results read at the end of the heat. Steve Haynes on top, Ian McKenzie 2nd, Roebuck in 3rd, and Andrew Nicholas down in 5th.
Steve, Stuart, you've done it again. You've thrashed them all. What's going on? What's your secret?
Well, no real secrets, just on a track like this, just all about keeping it clean. Still lack of grip, we're still working on that one, but we get in that one we actually changed the rear tyres. Then again, that was another softer compound, seemed to be a bit better, but we're still looking at, it's all about tenths on this track, so we're looking at them extra tenths, so we'll try a few more setups.
I didn't see any major crashes and I didn't see any major problems, but then again, what do I know? Hello, how's it going?
I don't know where we were there. 4th was it this time?
Was it 4th? So,
The driver let me down.
was it? He's blaming you, you know. Is this team rivalry? You can't be having this. It's always the mechanic. It is. To these two. So, no problems at all for the next race.
No, I think we'll be okay.
No.
We're just going to transmogrify the transmission.
You're going to transmodify the transmission. I know completely what you're talking about.
A little bit of bite out there and make sure that I can get around the corners a bit quicker and try and get up the ladder a little.
Because it must be quite difficult because they're long straights and quick corners. But we are going to go back now, I'm hearing. So good luck. We've got about 3 minutes. See you at the next race.
Well, I can't see anybody beating Steve Haynes. He's out there. He was actually 4th in the world in another class of RC racing at one point. Steve Haynes is certainly a man to watch. He could get through to the finals of the championship and he could win it. Let's see what happens with him in Heat 3 after the break. Welcome back to REM CON Raiders. The tension is mounting. The teams are trying to get out of the paddock. Let's see if they've made it. Over to Michelle.
Right, guys, you've got about 15 seconds. Are you going to be ready? I'm going to start counting down. Ready? Should we be mean to them or should we be nice to them? No. Oh, 5, 4. Oh.
Well, if you've wondered how the firewall works, let's talk to the man who knows, Bob Smoke.
We've got a high pressure gas system which is on the igniter, which when I press the remote control button, it bursts into flames.
Do you reckon it's going to cause any serious damage to the cars?
I hope so.
I think some of the drivers are pretty nervous about it.
Well, they should be. They should be. It's hot. It's very hot. They're only made of plastic, so we got a good chance.
You're not worried about it getting out of control at all?
Not at all.
Thank you. You take care of us. You look smashing in that outfit.
Thank you.
Okay, well, back to the action. This is heat number 3. Remember, the aggregate scores of the 3 heats go to your grid position in the final. Here we go. It's a melee at the beginning. Unusually, Alex Black is in the lead, but it is Steve Haynes right behind him. Somebody's mounting Alex Black there at the start as he goes over the wall of death, but it is Red Mist, Ian McKenzie, coming through Death Valley over the top of the water jump, and right behind him is Anthony Roebuck, who makes a mistake. So coming over the line is Ian McKenzie from Stephen Haynes from Anthony Roebuck over the top of Death Valley. He's just trying to keep in control. And talking about control, Chris, tell us about these radios.
You've got the steering wheel type and you've got the stick type, like you just saw that driver with there on the rostrum. All 2-channel radios. On the left side of the stick type, you've got the power.
Chris, I've got to interrupt you there because Ian McKenzie has lost the lead to Steve Haynes. Steve Haynes is our new leader. Ian McKenzie took an early swim into the water there. You could see that, and that must have destroyed his electrics. We'll see if he's got going again in a minute. But meanwhile, Steve Haynes is now out front. A fairly dominant lead now coming up against the back marker. Steve Haynes really laying that hammer down in the middle of the track, comfortably only nerfing the inside of the Armco as he laps Richard Kimberley. Steve Haynes coming through. That is Andrew Nicholas in second position, and Ian McKenzie did survive the water trap. He's coming through the fire now. Presumably that will dry it off. And here we have Steve Haynes making a mistake. Steve Haynes is off the track. That's our race leader in the middle of the track there. Can one of the marshals rescue him? Yes, one of the marshals has put him back on. There are over 12 marshals around the outside of the track there to put these guys back on. Look at that terrific shot coming through the inferno of the fire. Steve Haynes is now on top of Richard Kimberley, but Steve Haynes again, fortune is shining on him. He is in front of Andrew Nicholas and Ian McKenzie. Those are our top three. Andrew Nicholas makes a mistake, but the motor keeps going. These are bulletproof, these trucks, but you can see them dotted all over the show, crashing out. That is Alex Black there making a mistake, but it's this man, Steve Haynes now. Surely he must cruise to a victory. Just take it easy, Haynes. Round the outside of the last turn, it is Steve Haynes taking the checkered flag for heat number 3. The clay surface here, holding up well, proving a real test for these drivers. Clearly they're getting out of shape, was proved by Ian McKenzie, skidding out of control into the water, miraculously surviving his electrics intact. Steve Haynes leaping him like a salmon. Steve Haynes number 1, Andrew Nicholas 2nd, and Anthony Roebuck 3rd.
You said you were impressed earlier when I spoke to you. Are you happy with him?
Definitely. We had a few problems, obviously, when trying to get it started originally, but I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what this is about. It's about problems here and there. We got there. I did say we'd do second, and yeah, so very happy with this. He did really well. I'm really pleased with him.
How long have you two guys been doing this together?
It's about 4 years.
Stockwell, what's happening with your car?
I think one of the marshals accidentally dropped it in the water feature. And
oh, hang on a minute. Wait right there. We're blaming the marshals now, are we?
Nothing to do with the monkeys.
Which one of you is the driver? So it is your fault. Have we got long to go?
What on this? It's working now, but we've only just got it to start, so I don't know if we'll be able to compete.
Well, this is the big one. It is the final of REM CON Raiders. Remember, the aggregate score from the 3 heats has given these people their position on the staggered grid for the final. The question is, who is on pole position? I don't think there is any guessing here. It is Steve Haynes on pole, behind him Andrew Nicholas and Ian McKenzie. The question is, can Anthony Roebuck or Richard Kimberley take out one of the top 3 to get through? Because only the top 3 go through to the quarterfinals. The other 3 will go home. There's the 30-second board. We're looking at the red light now. We're waiting for the amber to come on. It is Steve Haynes on pole position. And we are away. A green light. Steve Haynes has a clean start. Andrew Nicholas in second. But it's Steve Haynes now just touches the outside of that bend. In fact, Steve Haynes is in big trouble. Andrew Nicholas has now opened up a massive lead. What's happened to Steve Haynes? He looked like he was okay, but the front wheel catching on the outside of the edge of the track. Andrew Nicholas almost having the same trouble. Anthony Roebuck is second, Ian McKenzie third, and Steve Haynes is really down the back. Remember, only the top 3 will go through here, and a major mistake from Andrew Nicholas, upside down. He's back on the track. The motor is still running. It's amazing that the fuel here doesn't ignite over this fire. Tell us, Chris, what is this fuel they run on?
Fuel is methanol based with a nitromethane performance enhancer. Get too greedy with the nitro, you'll blow it up.
Well, back to the action. Andrew Nicholas is still in the lead. This is car number 6, Richard Kimberley, who's at the moment out of the frame. A major mistake from Andrew Nicholas, and again that car is still going. Ian McKenzie coming up behind him in a red mist. The question is, where is Stephen Haynes? Remember, only the top 3 will go through. A crunching blow down onto that surface. You can see the clay just breaking up there as Andrew Nicholas comes over the start finish line, and there he is. That is the man, Steve Haynes, in 4th position. He must must overtake the man in third to go through to the quarterfinals, but the man in third will defend that position. And there is car number 6, Richard Kimberley, in the middle of the track. This is our lead car, Andrew Nicholas. You can see all the drivers. That is Andrew Nicholas focusing on that car, making sure he stays between, and a major mistake, but he manages to survive a complete 180 flip, and there he is. Steve Haynes has come all the way from 5th position through the fire to take the lead, and that's Ian McKenzie booking a one-way ticket, I think, back to Sutton Coldfield as Anthony Roebuck closes up on him. But Steve Haynes leads from Andrew Nicholas from Anthony Roebuck at the moment. Remember, those are the 3 that are going through. This is Richard Kimberley stuck in the pits. He's staggering his way through. There's the final lap board, I believe, for Steve Haynes as the cars skip their way down over that loose surface. There is Steve Haynes, and next to him is Andrew Nicholas. Could these be our first and second? That is Anthony Roebuck, who was in 3rd position. And here we go, a fight between 1st and 2nd position. It's chaos round the outside. That Steve Haynes takes the win from Andrew Nicholas. Look at that, almost taking each other out there. Ridiculous. The water could have got into the electrics of both of those cars and taken them both out. They were very, very fortunate. But the 3 people that will be going through to the quarterfinals are Steve Haynes, Andrew Nicholas and Ian McKenzie, and Anthony Roebuck, Richard Kimberley and Alex Black will be going home.
Are you happy, guys?
Very happy, very happy. Great job done, and after the start we had.
Yeah, now what happened there? Slightly
tried to get tried to get away easy, just to settle the nerves, get into a bit of a groove, and then I parked it up at about the 3rd corner. And then I just dropped down the field, and it was just a case of just praying, then just keeping calm.
It isn't it? I mean, we almost had a moment there where you could have won there.
Yeah, it was close, but I don't think I was going to beat Steve. He was just a bit too quick for me.
He's got a few years on you, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, quite a few actually.
These are the 3 teams that will be going through to the quarterfinals. Well, Steve Haynes there celebrating in a big way. That means he is through to the quarterfinals. It looks like he could go all the way to the championship final. We won't know about that till a lot later in the championship. But anyway, make sure you look out for more action.